Well, hello, my name is Richard Kettner. I've been playing guitar for about 55 years. I grew up in New York State as a kid, but then as an 18-year-old went into the Marine Corps to be in the Marine Band as a trumpet player. So music was kind of always a part of my life. I'm the youngest of 5, but no one in my family was musical except me. So I just kind of gravitated to music. So I played trumpet as a kid, and then I picked up guitar probably early teens, and then once I got into rock and roll, I did that whole thing and went into the Marine Corps to be in the Marine Band as a trumpet player, then to find out I could have joined the Navy to be a guitar player. But it turned out to be a blessing because I played the trumpet, but I got to play guitar at nighttime and really decided then that's what I wanted to do. So that was 1976. I went in the Marine Corps, did that for 4 years, and I got stationed in lovely 29 Palms, California, which is the middle of the Mojave Desert, which was not really great. But the good thing was I went as a trumpet player, and once I finally got to a band, I realized I no longer really wanted to do trumpet. I wanted to do guitar. And one of my buddies said, hey, just tell the band director you play French horn, and he'll let you play French horn. And that's what I did. And so the blessing of that was my friends that went into the Marine Corps didn't enjoy what we were playing, so the last thing they wanted to do at nighttime was practice their instruments. And I was fortunate by playing French horn, I didn't really care about the horn. I'd put it aside and spend all night playing guitar. So it really worked out well for me. And then we got moved from 29 Palms to New Orleans, Louisiana, which was amazing because I got down there and got to hang with musicians and eventually got a scholarship to go to Loyola University, which is in New Orleans. And I was first was a jazz major for about a month until I realized what that was going to entail. And then I switched to music education on the French horn. So that was 1980. I graduated in 85 and married a Californian. And once I got a degree, there were no jobs there in Louisiana. We moved to California. So I taught 31 years in California and retired in 2018 and then moved here to Sierra Vista when the world blew up in 2020. And I've been there since. So I now just do mainly solo guitar stuff because I'm kind of interested in jazz guitar, and I've not met anyone really interested in what I do or like-minded musicians. So I've been doing my own thing, playing mostly at restaurants. I had a weekly gig for a while at Urbano's Coffee Shop, and I've played at Landmark now 5 or 6 times. I've played at some Deep Sky Winery out in Sonoita. I would love to do more of that stuff, but it's just me. So the neat thing about playing by yourself, you don't have to worry about splitting the money 3 or 4 ways, and you don't have to worry about the bass player coming in drunk or someone speeding up or slowing down. So if it blows up, it's on me. If it goes well, it's on me. So. What I enjoy most about playing guitar, as I said, I think as a kid, it almost drew me in. My sister gave me a guitar when I was 8 or 9, and it was junk. Her neighbor had built it, but it was almost something magical that kind of pulled me in. And I think it almost just kind of transports me to another place. It's just, if I'm struggling with something or, challenges, you can just pick up an instrument and play, and it kind of just transports you somewhere else. It kind of reminds me, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie August Rush. It was probably 15 years ago. And there's about a young boy. His dad was a rock musician, and mother was a classical violinist, I think, or pianist. But somehow the boy ended up in an orphanage. So he had musical genes, but he didn't know it. And the first time he saw a guitar, they opened up a case, and he just started tapping on it and making sounds, and it was like magic to the kid. And that's kind of the way I feel still playing after 55 years. I just still love playing. I also love the fact that with guitar, you can play just 3 or 4 chords. I mean, you can play 5 chords and play any Tom Petty song, pretty much. Or you can study it your whole life and never get to, mastery of the instrument. It's just bottomless pit of how much time and energy and effort you want to put into it. Some of the people I would love to collaborate with, I'd be afraid to play in front of them. But I would love to play with, there's a jazz guitar player on the scene today called Pat Metheny. I would love to sit down and play duets with him. Or there was a jazz guitar player named Joe Pass who passed away probably now 20, 25 years ago. Just a phenomenal guitarist. And the song that I did, Rugged Cross, where that style of music is called chord melody, where you're trying to play the bass and chords and the melody all at the same time. Joe Pass was a master at that. So I would love to have been able to sit down with him and kind of pick his brain, or be able to play with him would be amazing. When I was younger, I was a jazz snob. I got to a point where if I could hear a song and I could understand it instantly and I could play it, it didn't interest me. And when I got to jazz, it was like, wow, that's a lot more complex. I can't play that, I could understand maybe what was going on, but couldn't do it myself, and that fascinated me. And the idea of improvisation. In classical music, there are classical musicians play amazingly well, but they have printed music. Almost all of it is reading music that someone else has written. And your job as a classical musician is to interpret it as closely as possible to what the composer wrote down. Where in jazz, there's a structure to the song, but then when you start playing solos, it's all improvised on the spot. And I love the challenge of that. It's kind of like playing chess, I guess, where sometimes you make a move and then you're trying to think a few moves ahead, or sometimes you paint yourself into a corner and you get stuck, but it's always different, and it's interesting and exciting. When I was in the Marine Corps in 29 Palms, I would always go out on the patio in front of our barracks and play my guitar, and people would always say, oh, I play guitar, and they'd pick up my guitar, and it invariably would play Smoke on the Water or some other thing. I'd play. But one time, a guy came by and said, oh, I play guitar, and then he started playing this thing that I played earlier for you. And I said, don't move. I'll be right back. And I went and grabbed another guitar. And I was amazed by what he did, because as a kid, I could play things like James Taylor with my finger, like finger picking like that. But what this guy was doing was playing different sets of strings and having to use your fingers as picks. So I understood what he was doing instantly, but it took me about 6 months to try to incorporate that into my playing. And I never saw that guy again, but that really changed my trajectory as a guitar player. Yeah, social media. I have a YouTube channel. Again, I started that when I retired. I really didn't know what it was going to be. I didn't have a direction or path, but I thought since I taught 31 years, maybe I could share some things to help out younger musicians or younger guitar players. And so it's Rich Kettner on YouTube, or I guess you can search at Starry Night Guitars, all lowercase, no spaces. I played at Landmark Cafe. I played there last Friday. I'm playing there like once every 2 months. I'm trying to get more gigs, but I'm not very good at promoting myself. And I just finished teaching. I taught at Lehman Academy for a year. After being retired 5 years, I thought I always wanted to teach little kids music. So I went back and did that for 1 year. And word of advice, after you retire, don't go back to a full-time job. Because then 1 year of teaching was like 5 years. I thought, wow, I'd go home at lunchtime and say, I could be walking my dogs, or I could be riding my bike like that guy. So I enjoyed it. It was great, but I'm back to being fully retired. So just walking my dogs, riding my bike, playing my guitar, and occasional gig here and there, and some lessons. I'm just started teaching at Groove Lab, which is a place here in town, and I'm just starting that next week, so that's kind of a new venture. So if you're looking for lessons on guitar or other instruments, come check me out at Groove Lab.
Thank you.